All right, so the reason I got you out here in front of this church called the Church of Light, igreja is to tell you a little story. And this story is why I actually get excited about working with college students. So in 1972, Portugal was essentially like a third world country in Europe. It had an infant mortality rate that was equal to that of most African nations. 60% of the population couldn't read. Education was only mandatory until fourth grade. And so most of the people, after you finished fourth grade, you went to work in a factory to help support your family. And so in 1972, a group of college students started meeting in this church to pray. Every Tuesday night, they would pray till late in the night. For hours on end, they would pray and ask God to help them change their country. And the really cool thing is you fast forward however many years that is, and one of those guys, Antonio Guterres, is now the Secretary General of the United Nations, and he used to be the Prime Minister of Portugal. Another of those guys, Marcelo de Souza, is now the President of the country. Two of the other guys and women went on to be serving the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Culture. A couple others went on to be university professors and bank presidents. So it really is a group of students that got together to pray for hours on a Tuesday night and ask God to help use them to transform their country. And God really has transformed the country, especially when you talk about socioeconomically. It's been transformed because a group of students decided to get together and pray. And it just reminds me, this church is about 500 yards away from where we live. And it always reminds me when I walk by here of why I work with students. It's not so much about reaching students, although it is about reaching students, but it's about reaching students who will graduate from university and go on to change the worlds in which they live and to change the companies they work in, the schools that they teach in, the neighborhoods they live in. So I wanted to share that story with you. And this church, by the way, is older than the United States. I think it's or older than America. I think it was built in the 1450s. So kind of a cool thing.